Okay, welcome folks. This is just a brief tour of London City in a Machetti trainer jet, and I'm not actually going to land the plane here. I'm just going to low fly the aircraft and point out some of the interesting features here. This is 4K on Microsoft Flight Simulator at high settings. On the left hand side you have what is now the Nightingale Hospital. If there was any doubt as to the scale of that building, these buildings are to scale. The scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator uses a mix of telemetry data and data from Bing and combines those together with uniquely crafted objects in order to produce the scenery that you have with 3D. So it's a model, but at times it can be a very, very accurate model. Other times less so. Depends if the telemetry data and the Bing data is available. So we're just going and heading east at the moment. You can see in the distance there actually the Dartford crossing. You can see the bridge just to the right, that's Dartford crossing. But I'm not going to focus on that at the moment. I'm just going to turn the aircraft slowly, and we're going to approach back into London again, and I'll be able to point out some of the highlights. So I should say that the London City Airport pack and the London area is also enhanced with something called Orbx, who design their own software regionally, and so this is using Orbx London, Orbx City Airport as well, London City Airport. So as we come here, we can see now this is the accurate time of day, but I've changed the weather settings because the weather was terrible today, but the simulator allows you to put in the weather for today. So here we can see here, this might be a familiar picture to some folks if you watched it on the telly. This is the London City Airport here, and as it runs from east to west, and you can see the West End there right in front of us really, with Canary Wharf and the Millennium Dome. And you can see this is quite a small airport, but nevertheless quite busy in itself. There we are, just trailing to our right a little bit now. You can see Earl's Court and the Nightingale Hospital as it is now. Okay, it's the former cranes for the docks that are there. The docks are still of course in use. Not much ships on the simulator, and you can see some areas of the simulation, the design that haven't worked. I mean, gorgeous Millennium Dome there. You can see some areas of the simulation where they need to do a little bit of work still. It's a work in progress. Got some interesting waterfalls happening here and land features. But you can just see here as we enter into Canary Wharf. I'll just take us round and we'll do a loop. So obviously we'll come through these later, but you've got the HSBC Tower, the Barclays Tower there as well, and Citibank. We'll wake those folk up in that building there. You can see the view just into London. We'll travel into there, but I just also wanted to show you the Thames Barrier, and you may well actually get British Sugar as well as we come round. Not just not entirely sort of limited in my view here to what's happening via the cockpit. I can look left, but I do find that it's helpful. There's Greenwich. There's the Greenwich Naval Museum, former Naval College there. I do believe that was a guess, by the way, but it was that. But if we just come round a little bit sharply here, you'll see the Millennium Dome here, but I'm just going to trail right over the gasworks, and you'll see right in front of us there is the Thames Barrier, right next to the airport itself. Now I seem to remember they've done quite a good job on the British Sugar factory, which is just to the left there. And in fact you may well be able to see that as we go past. There's beautiful pictures of the barrier there. Tate and Lyle. Okay, it's a little bit shaky because of just the amount of data that we're expecting the sim to manage. But I'm going to cut across now. Beckton's right in front of us. Obviously, it's a huge amount of data that the sim's having to incorporate, which is why it's a little bit choppy. On the right hand side, it might be interesting, it's a frame rate counter. You can see it's dropping as low as 10, 11 at times, which is not ideal. But whether it's actually visually impacting things is a different matter. I'm not quite sure what it does. I mean, 10 is very low. You'll see it's because we're flying over this very built-up area here. And as we get beyond the airport itself, the frame rates just begin to lift. So to the right is Canning Town. There's another view of the Millennium Dome. We will come right through here. And as you spotted me before, I might try and just weave around a little bit to give you some idea of the views that we've got. You can also see we've got a nice feature that Orbx need to sort of underground boats, and also this is a model, don't forget. You can see some of the scenery popping up and you see a mix. I mean, that's terrible, the Citibank logo there, but other logos are very clear. So some work needs to be done here by Orbx, but on the whole, if you think about what we're seeing here, it's pretty stunning. Yes, it is quite a high power PC, I hear folks ask. It's more the graphics card that's really needed to do the work, of course, here. So we're turning around this Whapping to our right, and this is Whapping just coming up to our right. We've just come past Limehouse, and I'll try and just skirt so we get a good view as it comes into focus of London Bridge. And there's London Bridge there. And you can see the Gherkin, you can see HMS Belfast, you can see the Shard, of course, as we enter into familiar landscape of London here. So, oops, sorry. This is London Bridge, classically London Bridge there. These interesting water features here. You can just see to the right, I'll circle it for you. You can see what used to be known as the post office tower. And to be honest, I'm not even sure what it's called today, and I suspect the makers of the software haven't been able to secure the rights to be able to share what the name of the building is, because they put a different logo on it. That's Regents Park just ahead. We'll pass, there we are, there's the, you can go quite close to it, but we don't need to, the post office tower. There's Regents Park here. St John's Wood is just across and to our left there. If I take a right hand turn here, we may well be able to get close to Camden town. Yeah, Camden town almost like dead ahead now. It's Camden. Come down this way, find that we're just heading towards King's Cross. There we are. There's King's Cross, and you get some idea here.
129.40 5539er. Making approach line 4539er 700.
This is Holborn that we're over. Just coming up to Blackfriars on. Not sure where Blackfriars is actually. Just gone behind us. And then we're down here, of course, and the thing is to look out for is the Houses of Parliament, which is opposite the Millennium Dome. We'll start with the Houses of Parliament first. There we go. Obviously the flashing angle at the moment is anywhere east. That is the most interesting telemetry I've seen there on the roads, and there's our underwater cars. It still gives you a really good idea. So it'll come back the other way, and so we can explore. Battersea Park here. You spotted the power station earlier. The area on the right here is called World's End as we look to the right. And so we're just lifting up here. We can just head through. Fulham's just to our right. We can head towards Putney Bridge.
Heathrow approach 4539 or 400 feet. 4539er Heathrow approach, continue as planned. UNH.
Now Fulham, I seem to remember, does have the football ground, of course, so I'm trying to line that up for when we actually arrive.
Contact Norfolk approach on 126.45. Going to 126.45539er. Northolt approach 54539er 400 feet.
I think that's a poor. That was much better. It's a poor kind of representation of Fulham Football Club there. Just on the banks of the river. I'm going to turn round. This is London wetland to our left now. And heading out towards Chiswick now. And Gunnersby Park. I will actually come round, cut across here, and we'll cut across to Kew Bridge, maybe even see the gardens. This Gunnersby Park, sorry for the stutter, not sure what's going on there. Gunnersby Park. And as we just approach South Ealing, I'll begin to turn and we'll join the river back again. So there we go.
Approach 54539 or 500 feet. 54539 Heathrow approach.
And back we go. So there's the Thames in front of us. Kew Gardens. Chiswick Bridge just coming up there. Again, cars driving on the water, which is not ideal. Barnes Bridge, which is around, whoa, sorry about that, which is around the corner here. It's non-existent.
126.45 for 539er. North hold approach 54539er 200 feet.
We're obviously very low here. Hammersmith in front of us. Still not. It's a work in progress. The simulator. It's still got these frame drops, which are not fun. Hammersmith Bridge there. Once more, we come down to Fulham.
539er contact Heathrow approach on 127.525.
Now that is particularly disappointing if that's supposed to be Fulham Football Club.
Heathrow approach 54539er 300 feet.
54539er Heathrow approach continue as planned. UNH 29.902. 539er contact Beacon approach on 129.405.
129.405 for 539er. Beacon approach 54539er 300 feet. 54539er Beacon approach continue as planned.
So Battersea here, of course.
539er contact north hold approach on 126.45. Going to 126.45539er. North hold approach 54539er 400 feet.
There we go.
54539er north hold approach continue as planned. UNH 29.902.
I'll just try and give you a decent view of what the software is producing for us.
On 129.405.
Lots of colour here.
129.405 for 539er.
9 Elms
Beacon approach 54539er
on the right.
300 feet. 54539er Beacon approach continue as planned. QNH 29.902. 539er contact north hold approach on 126.45.
There's Houses of Parliament again.
126.45
And the Millennium Wheel.
539er.
I'll give us some more time around that. I'll try and loop that again.
North hold approach 54539er 500 feet.
Just buzz that.
54539er north hold approach continue as planned. UNH 29.902.
We'll go for quite a steep turn here. A little bit more power.
Contact Beacon approach on 129.405.
129.405 for 539er. Beacon approach 54539er 1,100 feet. 54539er Beacon approach continue as planned.
Okay, I'm just flying over 9 Elms at the moment. It's New Covent Market down below us. Stockwell. Okay, so as promised, there's a Millennium Wheel.
126 decimal
Another view there.
4539er. North hold approach 54539er 1000 feet.
54539er North hold approach. Continue as planned. UNH 29er
If we can
decimal
enjoy that through. Just need a bit more power, sorry about that. St Paul's, not the best representation, but it's there.
129er decimal 405539er. Making approach
And
54539er
of course,
500 feet.
we've got. I do like this. I do like this area here. This area to the north of the Thames, just near Tower Bridge, and also kind of beautiful colours represented, you know, as you approach Canary Wharf. So I'm just going to take a look around here. That's a lovely view, that is.
126 decimal 45539er. North hold approach 54539er 800 feet.
54539er North hold approach. Continue as planned. UNH 29er decimal 902.
I do like this area, this part of under this view. Just really enjoy it.
Contact, make an approach on 129er decimal 405.
129er decimal
There's a shard there, of course.
539er. Make an approach 54539er 1400 feet.
54539er big and approach continuous plan.
And as you climb, you just get this real feeling, you know, 3 dimensions what it actually looks like here. And what you actually see is how busy London is in terms of airports, because, of course, in reality, the airports are actually quite close to each other by air, and also if you consider the speed at which aircraft travel. I'm just now the interesting thing about London City Airport is that the proper descent path is, I think it's twice the rate of descent as other major airports, because it's trying to avoid these high-rise buildings that at the moment we're ignoring. And it has to be said that, you know, all of this is highly illegal. But you can see in the distance there, I don't know if you can see the runway, but for those who aren't in the know, or any air cadets that might be watching, you've got your PAPI lights at the end of the runway. You've got just gone to 3 white and 1 red, which is signalling that I am too high. Just going to lay some flaps down. And what we'll try and do is we'll do a Can't just say this is how not to land an aircraft. Way wrong. I'm going to do a turnaround. Obviously I know the runway runs from east to west, so that when it comes to actually doing the circuit, there we go. I know where the runway is, but I'll take as my visual markers the Millennium Dome. I need to concentrate now. Sorry for the bumpy landing. Don't pretend to have worked this out yet. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The frame rates are down to 10 frames per second actually on the airport itself, which is a real shame. I don't know, although it looks really good, I'm not sure I'd recommend this scenery to people